Every single year, over 250,000 people move to Canada. But why is this? Ladies and gentlemen, judges, officers, and cadets, Canada has become one of the most desirable places to settle for people wishing to move out of their home countries. Today, we will consider what it means to be Canadian, as well as why people are choosing this country to immigrate to. Now, what are the basic necessities for a human being? Food, water, shelter, and safety, right? Well, I've spoken to numerous people who've either moved to Canada or have parents that have moved to Canada. And if you speak to any one of these people, you will find a common ground in their reasoning to move to Canada. They will tell you that they felt Canada would provide them with all of the basic necessities that I mentioned. Not only does it provide them with the basic necessities, but they also said it gives them a better quality of life for themselves and their future generations. One of these people is very close to me, and they've worked extremely hard to move to this country. This person is my father. Growing up, my father did not have access to resources that some consider necessary for success. But he was able to use what little he had to achieve something big. He studied hard day and night to achieve the best grades in school in order to present himself as a winner. And he was able to achieve these good grades while working on the farm every day where he supported his family. Once he finished his middle school education, he realized that what he was learning in his small village was simply not enough. The teachers weren't invested in the students' education, and frequently there were no classes held at all. This led him to move to a nearby town to live with his uncle. Here, he didn't have enough money to spend on simple things like books or clothes. Yet he somehow managed to make ends meet. He studied hard, he focused on all his classes, and it truly paid off. However, it's unfortunate that due to certain governmental policies and societal caste systems that prevail in India, highly educated and qualified individuals do not get enough opportunities in the workplace. This led my father to look to greener pastures elsewhere, and Canada drew his attention with its promise of a better life. Canada is an amazing country. It's a country where you're accepted, independent of your race, creed, or culture. This is especially shown in Canada's involvement in the refugee crisis. While other countries were hesitant in opening their doors to these refugees, Canada welcomed them with open arms. This demonstrates how giving these refugees an opportunity changed their lives forever. Canada is a country that all immigrants can call their home, and they can even merge into our mainstream Canadian workforce. From skilled or trade professions to service in the highest levels of our government. Some astonishing examples include our Minister of Defense, the Honorable Harjit Sajjan, or our Minister of Status of Women, the Honorable Miriam Monsef. Canada needs educated individuals like these. And Canada needs them now more than ever, due to the generation known as the baby boomers that are retiring soon. When this generation retires, they're going to leave behind a huge gap in the Canadian economy. And educated immigrants can help us to fill this gap. So, to answer the question that I started out with, what does it mean to be Canadian? I would have to say that being Canadian means accepting diversity. I myself am a second-generation Indo-Canadian. And although I do not have the experience of some of the hardships that my parents have gone through in their home countries. I am slowly beginning to realize just how fortunate I am to have been raised in a country where I do not even have to think for a minute about some of the basic necessities that are of second nature to me. But there are others in other countries who don't have access to these basic necessities. I can truly say that I am happily blessed to be Canadian.